What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the best women's boxing show, period. I am Cynthia Conte and my fabulous red, white, and blue co-host.
And I am Jeandra LeBeauf. I am looking real. I'm feeling real patriotic today.
You are.
We're going to get a little hype. We're going to talk.
You know what, girl? I love these braids on you.
Thank you. I'm feeling real Pocahontas with it today. Shout out to the Native American community.
Sexy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh, we got another one in the can for y'all today because this lady just fought recently, and I know all of y'all always have something to say about this one. She's a very polarizing, but she's one of the baddest women in boxing. We got the unified WBC and WBA and Ring Magazine Flyweight Queen, Miss Marlen Esparza. Welcome to the best women's boxing show, period. Show, podcast, YouTube. We got TikTok. We got everything. And I'm so glad that you're able to make it for us.
No, thank you. I'm excited. And I want to say, first off, your hair's beautiful. That was a whole vibe. It is a whole vibe.
Isn't it, right?
Thank you. Trying some new things, trying to keep it a little spicy.
I would do that, but then my head would start to hurt, and then I'd just be like starting to undo it in the middle of the show. But yeah. But Marlen, before anything, how's your baby boy?
He's so good.
How old is he now?
He's 3.
Woo!
Right now, he's in the process of trying to get into I'm trying to get him into private schools and stuff like that. So it's a bit difficult because the camp and everything. But he's bilingual, sign language. I'm really trying to catch everything up. Application.
Wow.
I just want to go to the aquarium, but I'm like.
I remember that. It is rough. Looking for these schools for the little ones now, that's like trying to get them into college. It's finding the right one. They're super duper expensive. The right atmosphere that's going to stimulate them creatively, intelligently. It's a lot. That's a full-time job on its own.
It's a process. So I was like, yeah. So he's doing amazing, but because of that, he's a little bit irritated with me because he's like, I just. And I'm like, yeah, but the way education is set up.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so, when you say he's fiery, does he take after you, Marlen?
Yes. And I was very afraid, and it's no offense to him, that he was going to take after his dad, because his dad's a little bit, I would say the gender role is a bit different. Mm-hmm. His dad is patient, very soft, very loves to cook, very homey, and I'm more of like, let's do this, very change things, let's be different. And he does act like that a lot. He is very outgoing. He's not afraid of anything. He wants to try new things. He's extremely energetic. He's a boy and beautiful, sweet. I couldn't ask for a better son, a better child.
I love that. You got to have both of those energies in there. And it's cool to see that it's okay for dad to cook. I bend the gender norms. I love it. Let him see a variety of styles and things from an early age. That way, when he grows up, he'll have a great appreciation for women. He will not think it's a gender norm. Oh, the woman got to be in the kitchen barefoot, because his mama whips ass.
Yeah.
And his dad likes to cook. So I'm into it. I love it.
Oh, man.
And so he's he's like the homemaker type. And I love it too, because exactly what you said, because I want Saint to understand and grow up and be maybe even that one man in the room that says, no, there's nothing different just because she's a female. Women can do all things.
That's right.
See that there is not a gender role. And I actually love that about his life and what he gets to see. So absolutely, I think hopefully, it works out well, but I think that he sees a different world and he takes to it very well.
Well, Marlen, I know that we always talk about this on the show because obviously we do talk to women, and some of them are mothers, and we always say that their jobs are never done, because once you're done from the gym, you're still a mom. You gotta feed them, put them to sleep, and all that fun stuff. But when you do put on that fighter hat, girl, Look at you. You were, the last time I interviewed you was for the Ring, before, I think it was not this, obviously not this fight, but the fight before this one.
Yeah,
and we talked a little bit about you're the 2012 bronze Olympian, and you're really the first one to be from Revlon to be sponsored. For especially in a fight as a female boxer, that's just so unheard of.
Yeah, God blessed me a lot with because I did on an early age decided that I didn't want to look like a boy, be a boy. I wanted to be the girl that I am. And that's really, God really put me in a good position to get to be put in those roles with CoverGirl, Procter & Gamble, Nike. And that was one of the best things that they liked about that. Yes, I'm a fighter. Yes, I'm fierce. Yes, I'm in a hurt business, but I also am very feminine. And I've been extremely blessed with all that, and then obviously everything that's just happened and everything that's going on. There's a lot of cool stuff that's in the works that I wish I could tell you about, but you'll hear about it soon.
I love that you touch upon that about working with brands, because I think it's a lost art. A lot of fighters nowadays, they say, I just want to focus on fighting, but it is a full-time job in addition to the fighting to make sure you're stoking interest, to try to attract other brands that might have some nexus, or even just expose you to other fans who normally might not be into boxing, but now that they've seen you on another platform, bringing them in. What do you think you had figured out at that time that others of your peers didn't have figured out, that you were able to navigate and find your way to these brands and marry boxing with these things?
I think with me, it was a catch-22 with the reason or how I figured out and what I figured out was because I started when I was 10 years old. I'm 32, so that's 12 years ago, 22 years ago that I started boxing. And back then, but women's boxing was, it was very hard to be in the gym. And what I learned was, well, how else can I show who I am? I know that I'm going to win, I know that I'm going to put my heart and soul into winning my fights, but how else can people see me as me? Like even the bandana, the American flag bandana that you see everybody wear, all the girls wear, I started that. The socks, my nails, I was had to have my nails done. Like there was things that I did along the way to allow people to understand who I am, because felt like I was so pushed away from the sport because I was a female. And I continued to win, but I showed myself. And then as time progressed, I realized, hey, people actually appreciate that. Companies appreciate that. While networking, I realized people cared more about that, about me being that way versus the boxing. They cared more about who I am. And they're like, oh, you win, that's cool. But what about this? What about that? What about this about you? And public speaking. And when I realized that I could tell the world that boxing for females is a great thing by being me, is when I realized that's how I can prosper in all ways. And that was kind of, like I said, a catch-22 where I had to learn difficultly, but that's what I learned. You have to put yourself out there. You don't have to be just a boxer. You need to, if you like making puzzles, if you like logos, if you like painting, if you like knitting, if you like golf, if you like, whatever it might be, if you're a tea connoisseur, you put yourself out there for what you are and let people understand that. And along the way, you will get sponsors and you will get supporters and you will get people that are just like you, wanting to vibe with you and support your career.
Well, Marlen, when I listened to all of this and knowing that you were, what your background, and now that you have become a pro fighter, you've had some grudge matches, and we're going to get right to it because we all watched the fight. Naoko Fujioka. Okay, now this is based on what I saw. This is not anyone else's thought. So when we saw you fighting, I mean, she's a 5-division world champion. You took her strap. She's never been defeated. You gave Fujioka her first defeat. But when we were watching the rounds, I felt like that you were, I mean, okay, first off, the cards were 190. Two of those cards. I don't believe it was a complete domination on your end, but you did win. I'll give you that. Like, I thought you won by 1 or 2. So, I want to know what you thought of your performance, if you've seen it or if you remember it. And B, what did you think of the cards when they were read out?
Okay, I believe it was 1, and the other 2 was like 97 to 94 or something like that. So it was the other 2 cards that were equal, but there was only one that was.
With that, just knowing that it was a complete shutout on your end.
On one end, but I get what you're saying. So to say it all in all, I will finish with the scorecard part. But with my performance, it was exactly what we planned. Me and my coach James Cooper, we really, really focused on the fact that it's gonna be an ugly fight. And only because, can I box? Yes, I can box. I can be a counterpuncher. With all my last 4 fights, you could see that I've used different plans and different ways to fight an opponent. I don't have a style. I have a way to win. And that's what we did with her. She can only go forward. That's what she's known for. She's strong. She's aggressive. She doesn't stop. And we understood that, well, why am I going to box? If she's expecting me to box, like everybody expects me to box, let's push her back. Let's hold the line. Let's be more dominant than the dominant fighter. Let's push her back. Let's feint her. Let's freeze her up. Let's use your experience to twist her, turn her, to not let her catch her timing, to frustrate her. And when she frustrates, she's going to come more and come more. Then you hold the line more. And because of that, it seemed ugly. But that's why I fully agree with the scorecards, because although from the outside in it looked messy, she wasn't able to catch her timing. She wasn't able to be her normal Fujioka. And that was not on accident. Everything round by round was exactly what we thought it was going to be and exactly what we planned for. To be honest with you, and I mean, to be greatly honest with you, the 190, I don't agree with. I think for sure she at least at the most got 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. The first round, absolutely not, which people are saying she did. But I think there was like the 5th or the 6th where she was throwing a lot and it looked bad. And my coach fixed that. He's like, look, I know you're not getting hit, but it looks bad that she's out throwing. And we fixed that. And I think maybe one of the few rounds, maybe 2 or 3 rounds after that, she won one. But I don't disagree with the scorecards, because it was supposed to be that way. It was a whole vibe. It was a whole vibe.
When you talk about that, it was a very messy, ugly fight. And I saw this on the timeline throughout the entire night. There was a lot of almost wrestling. Was that part of your game plan also? Because I've never seen, I mean, when people say, oh, Marlen is going to make it ugly, obviously you did, but I think I maybe have seen you do this before, but I can't remember. But this one I've seen, it was actually a lot of hugging, and a lot of, like, I felt like it was wrestling almost, but was that part of your game plan?
So she has a martial arts background.
Mm. Okay.
So she was going to be able to be in clinches, so you will. I don't have a martial arts background. So it was not wrestling. It was more of me that when I say holding the line, or when I say pushing her back or being the dominant fighter, it's that she's going to be able to shove me and push me because she has a martial arts background. So it looked like that, but it was me holding the line of like, no, you're used to using this against somebody and getting your way. You're not going to do that with me. So the clinches and the pushbacks and even, the freeze feints meaning when I'm inside and I'm not letting her get off and then move away or throwing. Those are like freeze feints. It was an ugly fight in the way that's the only way I can explain it to the greater boxing world. But that's what it looks like. But it was actually beautifully done, because they kept saying when they were commentating, the commentators were saying, "Oh, she's making it too hard for herself. She's making it too hard for herself. She needs to box. She needs to box." But I could absolutely box all day long. That's not the style. Like, it's not black and white with Fujioka. I can't just box and beat her. She'll catch her. She'll catch my timing. She'll catch her rhythm. She'll get confident, and then it wouldn't change. She would get too brave, too comfortable. She would catch her timing, and that's why it looked like wrestling, but it wasn't. It was a plan, and it was what needed to be done to beat such a strong fighter. Everybody up her age, but honestly, he's not.
I think because when we look at both of your records, you have one knockout and she had 0, I believe. So we were thinking, why is Marlen? I mean, like what the commentary team was saying is like, why is she deciding to go into a brawl and go into the phone booth when you could just box your way, unless you wanted to try to knock her out? But I mean, if that's your game plan, then so be it. Then respect to all that. At least you won. You got her title, and now you're looking to go undisputed.
Yeah, she had 7 knockouts.
Oh, there you go, 7 knockouts.
It's more of, sorry, it's more of, thank you for that though, but it's more of, it wouldn't have been such an easy win boxing. Completely. Sounds weird, but when you fight, it's a hurt business, but it's more than that. It's about breaking someone's, like, I'm trying to beat everything you represent. I am trying to take over your soul, everything you embody. I'm faster, stronger. I'm trying to be quicker. I'm trying to have more will, more power, more intelligence, more like everything that you embody as a human being. I want to be better than you in that, spiritually and physically and mentally. And with Fujioka, just boxing would not have gotten the job done. I wouldn't have been able to break her at all.
Just like this fight, it's a cause for discussion. You're always a topic of discussion in women's boxing, very polarizing, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Why do you think you're so polarizing to fans? Because everything that you're saying right now is not unusual. You want to be the better fighter. You want to break the fighter's will. You want to dominate. You want to beat them at every level. These are what we expect a boxer to say, but you in particular are very polarizing to fans. Why do you think that is?
I think I'm a very entertaining fighter. Because there's always some personal hype behind something. Not everybody, loves me. A lot of girls have, their personal things with me. So it makes for a more exciting buildup. But when it gets to the actual boxing and the actual fighting, I'm an entertaining fighter because I can do multiple things, and it always becomes something that people don't really know what they're going to see or what they're going to get from me that day. And I really believe that people enjoy watching me fight. They enjoy watching me win or lose, and they enjoy that something's always happening with my fights. There's not been one thing in a fight of mine, especially in the pros, that has not been something that you just want to see. So I would say that I'm an entertaining fighter, and I'm not going to say it's fully on purpose. It's just who I am and how I fight and what I can bring to the table.
Well, I think when you say we love to watch you fight, possibly against Seniesa Estrada. We love the build up to that fight. And still, before we even go into Seniesa, did you watch the tape back when she was commentating on your fight?
Oh, yeah, I watched the fight. Me and my coach actually watched it that night.
Okay.
My coach was a believer on watching the fight the night of because everything's still fresh. You had even said, if you even remember, and sometimes you'd forget after a few days every detail. So we watch it night of to make sure that we have everything fresh in our minds. And I heard everything she said. And I thought she was just being a bit salty. She was trying to be professional. But she made it a lot about, like, again, Seniesa, she's a bit bratty. Me. When they were like fighting someone from Japan, they're very strong, and there was a fighter who had just lost from Japan that night, and she's like, well, I know when I fought Fujioka stablemate, and went like on for like a whole 30-second rant about her, and then saying that I made it more difficult. I just thought she was trying to make it a Senecia show as usual, but I mean, that's really all I heard.
I mean, to be fair, she did say that you were doing good. I mean, and they did say they did ask, what does she have to do? And she did say at the end that she believed that you were going to fight, or you're going to win this fight easy, knowing that everyone on the timeline had it like even, or Fujioka winning, or you winning. So it was interesting. But it's a grudge match that we all want to see, because she did say on there, once you get those belts, she's looking to collect all those belts from you.
Yeah, and that's why I said that she was trying to be professional when she did credit.
You guys, I love you both.
I do too. I mean, is there a place? Is there a time and a space? I know it's not right now, that the two of you can come together and say kumbaya, because y'all do not get down with each other by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, you come to the brown table talk, and we'll have some tea.
Exactly. We want you to come into the studio.
In boxing, with the thing and how she acts, it bothers me. I feel she's bratty. But when it comes to her as a human being, I don't mind her at all. Like, even because she had to be there for the interviews for the DAZN meeting, right? The fighter interviews. And they were like, how do you feel about Seniesa commentating? And I laughed and I smiled and I was like, well, it's great. I mean, we know enough about each other. This is like, I love it, but she wouldn't look me in the face, and it's like, but do your job. And she said, don't worry, I'm not going to say anything bad about you. I said, well, I hope not. You're doing your job. You're supposed to be a professional. And, I'm trying to kind of make everybody stop trying to clear the air, like everything's okay. But she won't, she'll hold the line on that, on being very like against it. So when the time comes, the time will come. But it's not about her as a human being. It's about just getting what I know is mine. And, I hope she enjoys her time right now, and, the spotlight right now, and the time will come.
I mean, there's no apologies here, because I love that you two both genuinely don't like each other, especially in the ring, because we need that more in women.
That's right.
When guys say, oh, the women are soft, they don't say anything. But now we've been seeing these women are stepping up on Twitter. They're talking shit. They're talking smack. And I mean, whether Seniesa means it or not, bring more. Both of you bring more, because people love to see you guys fight. And we would love to obviously see a rematch. But if not, not in your division or whatever division, because y'all can just move up and down. I would love to see that both of you guys fight, because sadly, the fight with you and her stopped because you had that nasty cut on your head. Shit, I want to see someone get knocked out. Sorry, I just do. I mean, I like a good brawl.
You know what? I want to ask you about that cut. That was a horrific cut. Whenever I see a fighter get an injury like that, I think, damn, I know the next day that hurt like hell. What was the next day after that in the recovery process for something? Are you tentative as your skin repairs and all that? What are those days, weeks after, when you're recovering your skin and something from an injury like that?
Well, I'm going to say right now, I have good blood. I healed. But
okay, form like Voltron.
It took about 10 days, and it was 22 stitches, including glue stitches. But it was, I think, the day after, my soul and my heart hurt a lot more than my head. And then when everything kind of really set in, it was painful. It was painful. And then that's why boxing is also so difficult, because not only if you lose, you also get beat up. It's not like you just lose a tennis match and you just feel bad. It's like you get beat up and you lose. So it's like a double whammy, and the healing process was difficult of because I had a photo shoot with Toyota with Honda or Toyota at the 10 days after, and I was like, "Is it going to clear up? Is it going to clear up?" But it was a painful process. There was a lot of we had to buy a special bed that actually elevates to make sure that the blood doesn't go back and it actually goes down. Making sure that I get some sort of like the baby aspirins that help your blood thin, a lot of ice, a lot of, it was constant care. And then, my son was like, why can't you hold me? He was really young at the time. He was 10 months. And it was difficult, but I cleared up nicely. It hasn't bothered me. It doesn't bother me.
Do you have a scar?
I have a big scar, yeah, but it actually is in a perfect spot because it's right on the hairline. You can see it.
Well, it's your war wound,
Exactly.
I mean,
because you badass.
yeah, not many women get crazy gashes. I mean, I don't wish it upon anyone, but you could say as part of your story, like, this is one of the best fights I had in my career, and it's still, it was a serious grudge match, and we were all very entertained by it. So
yeah, will be better. The next one will be even more entertaining. Like you said, I fully want it to go where we say what we have to say. I just the truth because I don't. If it's a real grudge match, no one needs to lie on anybody. Let's just tell the truth. And I think that's where it's gonna get even better because I got a lot of truth left in me that that I didn't let out the first time. So it's gonna be a lot more entertaining on every end.
When you commentate on Senesia's fight, I think it was the last one. I can't remember I think the interim. When you say she's salty or she's just being Seniesa herself, it's a Seniesa show. When you go into something like this, do you put feelings aside and just strictly look at it as a fight? Or do you kind of put your Marlen isms in there?
No, I absolutely just think about it as a fight.
Really, girl? I mean, you never know.
No, I'm telling you. No, I do because you're a fighter at the end of the day. If you're in there with me and I want to talk shit about what happened after, that's different. But regardless of who I like or don't like and all that, you're still putting your life on the line and you're still putting your health at risk for your goals and for entertainment. And I have no business to bring myself into that. I know boxing. I love boxing. And my job is to just see what's going on strategically and in the ring with no emotions involved. And if they ask me something, during the break about something personal, yes. But when we're talking about the actual rounds and what I'm saying, no, I will. It's only you are a boxer and only a boxer to me, and you're doing the best you can to get your job done. And my job is to commentate on your strategy, on your strengths, on what went wrong or what went right. Without myself, I don't matter at that point. I'm there to commentate. I'm not there to be the fourth person in the ring.
Interesting.
I like how you say that. And now that business takes you now on a road trying to become undisputed champion. What is that? What does the timeline look like? What is the ideal scenario for you for that goal to happen? How would you like to map that road out?
I would like to, obviously with Golden Boy and my trainer, James Cooper, we want to do it soon, within the next few months, within the year. Obviously, it all depends on everybody else. There's a lot of parties that are going to be involved, but that needs to be the next fight. And I feel like that's going to happen within this year.
Because the two fighters that have the belts are in Argentina, and one of them, she has 9 successful title defenses. Leona Paula She's the IBF champ. And then I can't even read my handwriting. Oh, no, here we go. Elizabeth DeMarco. She has a WBO strap. And surprisingly, they've never fought, or the first one, she's never fought out of Argentina. So for them to travel here, if one of them's never fought out of the States, how do you think you'll be able to get them to come fight over here? Because you sure ain't going to go to Argentina. Or not. I'm not saying you won't, but I don't think the fight would be made there.
Well, business-wise, they would have to come here regardless if they want belts.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want belts.
I feel like that, I don't know them, but I feel like they don't really care to start fighting for the other belts. I feel like they want to just hang on to their belt, and you want to collect.
Well, if they want to hang on to it, they'll still have to defend.
Yep.
So I can move on IBF and in the WBO, and I can move up in the rankings, and then I can do a title eliminator, and then they'll have to fight me, and they have no choice. And since I have more belts,
yeah, and the Ring Magazine belt.
That's right.
We're gonna segue because we have a little segment that we do. I still haven't named the segment, but the women, any of the women that we bring on, I ask them to say one word, the first thing that comes to your mind when I say a fighter. You ready?
scared
Don't think, Marlen. Just say it.
I'm a bit blunt and harsh, so right now
That's what we like. We want you to be
girl.
you.
Yeah, and that's why. You know what you say here is what you really believe and say. We're not sugarcoating nothing. It's like we don't want people to think, oh my God, why did I say that? It's
It's a safe space.
It is a safe space, and we women want to tell your story. We want to give you a platform to be able to talk your shit, because that's another segment we got.
Yes.
And then some other stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go through the pound for pound. One word. Katie Taylor.
winner.
Did you say winner?
Yeah.
Okay. Clarissa Shields.
Bold.
Amanda Serrano.
Strong.
Jessica McCaskill.
New.
Delphine Persoon.
Don't know.
Chantel Cameron.
UK.
Michaela Mayer.
White.
Keep it a buck.
It's all right, girl. Seniesa Estrada.
Brat.
Cecilia Brecus.
Old.
Savannah Marshall.
Tall.
And last but not least, Marlen Esparza.
Me.
Mean?
Me.
Oh, me?
I was like, okay.
I'm like, you call yourself mean? No, but me. Okay.
We'll accept that. We'll accept both answers.
It's all right. But yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, it was just one of those things that we always ask, because guys are always asked about pound for pound and their lists, and I'm not going to ask for people's lists. I'm like, just give me what your thoughts are, because everyone has a thought about somebody. Before we go into your segment, I do want to ask, since we do have some very big female fights coming onto the horizon, we fellow Olympian Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. That's a true grudge match. I mean, Savannah beat her only once, and that was in the amateurs. So I don't even think that even counts, because pros to amateurs are very different, as you know. And Clarissa Shields has just all the accolades that she's brought to the table. I mean, who has 2 gold medals and undisputed twice, and does PFL MMA? So what do you think of that fight when eventually that goes down?
Yeah, Marlen, what do you think about that fight?
I'm very close to both of them. But that again, boxing, not personal. I think that if Savannah can use her reach advantage and her strength tactically, she could pull it off. I think that all around, Clarissa is more skilled, because she can change things up. Although people think she looks the same all the time, she doesn't. She adapts very well. And that's the beauty of her. People don't even see where she adapts, and she adapts. And yes, she lost in the amateurs, but that's one thing about Clarissa. Clarissa's a warrior, like from the soul warrior. So if she lost to her, she's been waiting this whole time to get back from that loss. Oh. And so that this is going to become a mental thing. Who prepared right? who in there really wants it more and who's gonna really do what they need to do mentally, gonna be strong. And I feel that Clarissa, I would bet on Clarissa, but with Sarah Marshall, because she is also now she's evolving spiritually. She's evolving in a lot more belief in herself, and it shows. So if she tactically holds on to that and is strong enough to believe in herself and the things she does with the right strategy, she could win. But I would say if I had to pick, Clarissa for sure.
Right. See, breaking it down. Right? I love it. Thank you, Marlen. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's why I like you guys on the mic, because you guys really know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And you have that knowledge base because you've all been with each other, amateurs, pros. You've all seen each other, whether you fought or not.
And this is why I like asking female boxers what their prediction on this particular fight or any other fights, because you ladies break it down. Because men will say, oh yeah, they're good, I don't know too much about them, but it's gonna be a great fight. But you ladies, I mean, all the other female boxers we've interviewed just break it down. Mm-hmm. and they're so excited. Just when you said this is like Christmas, fuck yeah, it is. Yeah. We are so excited about it. And surprisingly, there are a lot of men that are very surprised about this fight.
Yeah, the men who were most into it were very surprising to me. Caleb Plant
and Benavidez.
They're super into it, and they were both highly knowledgeable about both fighters, really gave some really detailed answers, and very great. It's a fantastic fight for the sport, not just women's boxing. But now, the time, back to you, champ. To close the show, we have a segment we call Talk Your Shit. Since you're not in the studio with us, I'm not going to point to which camera, so your camera's right in front of you. You have 30 seconds to, whether it be to the fans, to other fighters, to the world that be, to talk your shit. So go ahead, Marlen Esparza, look into that camera and talk your shit.
Woo!
I can't. I don't even know what that means.
Is your son in the room?
Talk my shit means the shit I already say. So that's the beauty of me. The shit that I talk is already said. What you see is what you get. My belief is my belief. I'm the best. I'm going to be the best. I had one loss with a headbutt. I mean, if Seniesa couldn't knock me out with my head gashed open and my skull breaking, imagine what's going to happen when I'm me. I just don't. The shit I've said is the shit I've said, and I really have nothing else to say. I mean, I am who I say I am, and I am who I am. What you see is what you get. There's really not much more to say. And if you don't like it,
and if you don't know, now you know.
She shut that down with that. She did the Canelo.
Oh, because my tattoo.
Oh, I can't see it. I don't have my glasses on.
I didn't tell anybody, but it came up, and then everybody's talking about it. But it's so I won everything for so long that after a while I would get booed for everything, no matter what I won. Even though I would win clearly, I would get booed because because I was about 15, 16 years straight winning everything without a loss. So I got winning tattooed on my finger, and it says winning.
Oh.
And I didn't flick anybody off. So I was like, well, shh, and it says winning. And that's pretty much to me, that's what I think of when people are hating and they don't like whatever I do. It's like,
I mean, I would have thought maybe you would have done the middle finger.
I like it. It's a different,
it's kind of fun.
And it's child friendly too.
It is very child friendly. They'd be like, shh.
Well, the normal process is the normal way to tell people to shh.
Yeah.
It's because I don't want to be disrespectful. So
it's a very polite way.
I love it.
It's a very polite way of saying fuck you.
All right, champ. Well, we thank you for joining us. It is a pleasure. We look forward to watching your road to undisputed. If we're going to get another grudge match, we just want to see all of the fights, and we appreciate for you stopping in with us.
Well, thank you guys so much, and thank you for allowing me to be on.
Thank you, Marlen.
Again, I'm here. This is so cool. whole vibe.
Oh, thank you. Next time you're going to come in with us.
Yeah, you got to come in, and then we're going to really talk more shit because I know you got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Exactly. And we have to do the After Dark episode too. But you got to come to the studio for those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Those are fun.
And then I can say some stuff.
Hello.
All right, Marlen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time, and we can't wait to see your road to undisputed, and we cannot wait to see the rematch with Seniesa Estrada. Someone's taking someone's belts.
Period.
All right. Bye, hon.
Bye.
What'd you she's always misunderstood.
I don't have much to say, but
it's a Seniesa show. I love it because we did hear what Seniesa said on the commentary.
These two, man, I'm into it. These men do it. Hey,
but I know, and these two really don't like each other, and we saw it. I mean, when she just said, she goes, Seniesa couldn't even knock me out with a big old gash. I mean, her thing was bleeding like worse than Tyson Fury's gash. Remember that?
Yeah, she slid that in real smooth, like a pimp in the night. She slid that in. She couldn't knock me out with my head split open. Okay, sis.
But I like it. The gift of the gab from both of them, from the women. These girls really know how. They're really talking their shit, and they're some of them are going to be backing it up very soon.
Back it up.
But I can't wait. I really want to see her predictions. She had a really good, thorough prediction.
I like that. Man, it's great on the desk, great at analyzing. Definitely a future in that too.
And to know that she's really good friends with Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields, that is like boxing Olympian royalty right there.
That's crazy because she and Clarissa used to mix it up a lot in social media too. I didn't know they were close like that either. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. Women stick together. Yeah,
well, just like you said, when the Olympians have those rings on them, they share something that no one else will be able to ever understand or explain. So, but wow. We didn't know what to expect with Marlen, but you got it. She talked her shit. She told us about her road to undisputed, and we just got to, and we actually, you know what? I confronted her about the fight.
I love it.
Whether people are going to believe it or not, who cares? She won.
That's on them.
It's on them.
We talked our shit.
Yeah, we did. Well, Jeandra, this is another one in the can for us. This was fun.
Always a good time.
It's always a good time. But you guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. We have a TikTok. We are still going on. Twitter, Instagram, and our podcast. And we also have our episodes on podcast on
Spotify and all the places.
All the places. We'll let you all know. So if you can't watch us live, you can always hear us when you have a nice long car ride.
Listen to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You are now hearing the best women's boxing show, period.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we got to go because I know Travis is like, wrap it up. He's hangry over there. All right, guys. Well, another one in the can. Thank you for tuning in to the best women's boxing show, period. I am Cynthia Conte and
I am Jeandra LeBeauf. Remember that.
Remember that and remember us. All right, guys. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.